I have so much respect for it, and trying to actually help people build a career and build their own business. I'm so grateful to them. I'm so grateful to everyone on this team. And I don't know where I'd be in my career right now if it weren't for Juicebox.
Today, I'm really fortunate to be joined by Kevin and Miranda. Kevin is an agent in our Agentship Plus program. He's also now a partner agent, and his wife and partner, Miranda. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
I'm curious if you can, because I think Kevin had been in the business for a while before then. He'd been, with Aflac for a while, and then had been trying to do the independent route. Can you speak to what it was like for Kevin before he joined Juicebox? What was that like?
So when we did the transition from Aflac to another independent IMO, it was a huge change for our family. Like, we went from kind of a 9-to-5 setting to working nights, driving everywhere throughout, New Jersey, where we live. We have 2 little ones. It was really challenging. He had no support. He was kind of flubbering a bit. It was a lot. He really had no support from who he was working with and under. He felt very lost. So when we found Juicebox, when we met with you, I remember that so well. We were in our home, before our home now, our old home, in the basement in our little office. Yes.
Basement office.
And you were like the nicest. I was telling Kevin, I'm like, we are not doing something like this again. Here you go. We're not trying something else. And when we met you and you kind of talked about, what Juicebox was about, I said, okay, let's do it. I mean, this feels more supportive. This feels, like we're not going to be lost in the waters trying to find our way. And it's been a godsend, literally, as his partner, watching him have more support, feeling that collaboration. It's been great. I'm so thankful.
And I knew I couldn't make another major career shift without Miranda's support. So when I saw the Juicebox ad on Facebook, I was obviously extremely curious and said, this seems like it could be the answer, but I can't make that decision without you.
Right.
Will you sit on this call with me and meet Jared?
How was the decision different than joining Juicebox? Can you speak to that?
Juicebox was more thought out, and it was more in line with our vision of what we were looking for in terms of how to take the next step in the evolution of my career. I had come from an employee benefits background, working more 9-to-5, like Miranda said, and once the pandemic hit, that really impacted the business in a very, very negative way. It made the job much, much more difficult, and I realized I had kind of gotten to the point where I couldn't grow anymore. I was hitting my head against the ceiling, and there was not much more I could do. So I was looking for advanced market opportunities and areas where I could learn and grow in this business and do more than what I had been doing. And I found a marketing campaign through an IMO that advertised extremely high earnings and people making tons of money in their first year. And it sounded too good to be true, but I was willing to take that leap of faith because I knew I was good at sales and I had a great background in the insurance industry. And when reality hit, that the training was watch YouTube videos and figure it out on your own, and trying to reinvent the wheel or create systems from nothing that I did not have the experience to do, we very quickly realized, like, oh no, we're in trouble here. And we tried and we stuck it out for almost a year with them, and by the grace of God, the ad with Jim popped up on my Facebook feed, and I said, if this is what they say it is, and they're willing to do this kind of training and mentorship, which is what I've been looking for my whole career, is the right people to be around, rising tide raises all ships, and be around the best of the best and up my game and get that level of support, then this is a no-brainer. But I need to make sure that together we're making this decision as a team. And Miranda's been so vital to my success so far with Juicebox, and
all the training.
she's gone through all the training. Yes, I made her watch.
I remember on that first conversation.
Yep, she sat through every training video with me, so she knows a lot about annuities and IULs at this point. And now, she's taken a more active role in helping me. And to be honest, what's great is it's like I have my own director of operations at home. She's like, Kevin, did you reach out to this lead? Kevin, did you follow up with this person? On the way here today, she reminded me of someone I had a meeting with. She said, did you remember to call them? And I was like, oh, so I called them from the car and left a message. So it's been really, really great feeling more like a team in this and building something together for our family.
Miranda, something I'm curious about from your perspective is that transition a year ago from that previous experience that was pretty negative and fairly costly, I think, and coming to Juicebox. Can you speak to, from that transition point, what have you noticed personally, professionally, in the business for Kevin? Like, what have been some of those changes you've noticed?
He's a lot happier, really. He's a lot.
Why do you think that is?
I mean, he has a team to support him. He has, feelings of, a platform to go off of. The CRM is incredible. Anytime he has a question, he doesn't feel like he's completely lost and, throwing anything at the wall to see what it sticks. That's literally what we were doing with the last one. It was very challenging. And it feels, the leads are better. Everything just feels better. It's just a lot smoother. And now he has like all these little bromances that makes me so happy. You're one of them. And that was a big thing he missed with Aflac, was the coworkers and like that like family and collaboration. So I felt sad for him that he was missing out on that, but with Juicebox, it feels like he's having that again, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's been one of the most important things, is that sense of community and being around other like-minded people, and like Miranda said, being able to share. And, I do have my little group of fellow Juiceboxers that we've now created our own little friendship, and that's really been important. Is it's not just building professional relationships, it's building personal relationships and making friends, and that's really been a huge, huge help.
Business can be hard, and I think having that kind of support is really crucial, like you've expressed. Something that I know happened early on is Kevin came in and he tried to, Miranda, specifically to you, is he tried to kind of adapt the system, what we teach, to his own kind of means. And so I think something that you said to him, or a question that you asked him early on, was, why don't you just commit fully and follow the system? Can you speak more about what made you say that, and what was the result of that?
Well, I just felt like I could tell what he was doing wasn't working, so I kept saying, clearly this is a very well thought out machine and system, and there's a lot of successful people on this. I think we need to follow what they're doing to a T, and I think it's good that I'm kind of, helping him out with the business side of things, because Kevin can get very excitable and kind of running kind of past, not really, I'm kind of the brain in the operation sometimes.
You know what they say, behind every good man is a better woman, so.
Try to rein him in a little bit. But since then, it's been.
I've learned it does not make sense to reinvent the wheel. There's a system in place for a reason. I came here for the system. Why would I try to change the system? So that was a good lesson to learn.
So something I'm curious about, speaking of the system, tools, forecaster, presentations, scripts, CRM, that sort of thing. If you could only identify, Kevin, to you, one most important factor in the success you've had, what do you think that has been? Just one tool.
If I have to be totally honest, the one tool is support. It's school, it's the training platform, it's the consistent weekly meetings where you're getting to talk to people and interact. Like, the CRM is great, the training videos, all that stuff is great, but it's the support. It's having people who have your back, who all have a shared goal of mutual success.
Consistency is big, and Juicebox has just felt very consistent with support, which is
Absolutely.
amazing.
Miranda, turning back to you.
Yeah.
Something that I think is really important is hearing from the spouse. And so I guess for you, talking to other spouses out there, maybe their husband or their wife is exploring Juicebox as the agent in that role, what would you say to the spouse of an agent exploring Juicebox?
I would say to absolutely, be patient with this, be, supportive, be, I think it's just, like I said, what we dealt with before Juicebox. This has been like a game changer for our family. Kevin was working weekends. It was hard. So I feel like any spouse that was maybe on the fence with their spouse doing it, I would say, you know, it's been fantastic, like the support and the consistency. It's good, it's great.
Now that you're kind of involved in the business as well, right? You're, you know, involved in setting appointments and keeping Kevin on track and managing from that operation standpoint. What's your experience been like?
Yeah, so so my background is social work. And a lot of what I did before working with Kevin was a lot on the phone, actually. So this is kind of up my alley in terms of communicating on the phone and talking to people. So I feel comfortable doing that. You know, it's one of those things where you have to be, you know, you have to push yourself, you have to be consistent, you have to keep going. But I've been enjoying it a lot. But it's been good, yeah. And it's nice to see that, and you know, being involved to kind of know what Kevin's kind of doing. And
yeah, I mean, one of the biggest potential clients that I've recently taken on was because of Miranda. You know, I'm co-selling it with another member of the team, and we're working on it together, and it's got a lot of potential to be a very good-sized case. And without Miranda staying on top of it and, you know, putting it in my calendar and making sure I was being held accountable, wouldn't have that opportunity. So
yeah, it was from February, so I just kept calling, and he answered.
So before we part, one last word. Is there anything that I didn't ask you, both of you individually, that you wished I had? Is there anything you want to say as we part?
I think anyone in this industry that is struggling to get to a level of personal and professional success that they envision for themselves would be foolhardy not to fully invest themselves in the Juicebox system. In my humblest of opinions, it's a game changer, and I have so much respect for Jim Fisher, Brian Fisher, Mike Milligan, and their vision for changing this industry. And it's not the traditional build your downlines, recruit massively, sell insurance to your mom, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your niece, your nephew, your neighbor. What their goal is and what they're trying to accomplish through this business, I have so much respect for it, and trying to actually help people build a career and build their own business. I'm so grateful to them. I'm so grateful to everyone on this team, and I don't know where I'd be in my career right now if it weren't for Juicebox.
I mean, I would just want to say thank you, because we were really, you know, struggling there for a while, and I always had faith in Kevin and his ideas and where he wanted to go with it. So I just feel, you know, happy that we found something like this that has so much support. And
this is just a start.
Yeah, right.
Together.
Absolutely. The one thing we keep going back to that has really helped us grow within the Juicebox community is discipline. That's our mantra, is discipline. Doing things that are difficult every day until they become easy. Whether that's carving out an hour or 2 hours every single day to go through the trainings again, waking up at 4 in the morning to work on forecasters so that you're prepared for the day. You know, working after Miranda puts our son to bed, I'll still be on the CRM doing stuff till 8 o'clock at night because we have a shared vision. If you're looking to your spouse for support in this industry, you have to be on the same page and have a shared vision. We have the same goals for our family for the future, and because of that, I believe we're going to be able to achieve those goals. So that's the last thing I have to say.
Kevin, Miranda, thank you guys both so much for your time today.